I define betrayal as the breaking or of a spoken or unspoken rule. And we all have them, right? And when we look at our times, this is really, it could be a betrayal of expectations. No one signed up for this. And what's happening is how people are reacting and responding can be so different than what we expect, what we planned for, what we hoped for. So there's so much betrayal that people are feeling. But betrayal is a very different type of trauma, type of life crisis. And that was actually the first discovery. I was studying betrayal and post-traumatic growth. And for those who aren't familiar, post-traumatic growth is, if you can imagine an upside of trauma, how that crisis, death of a loved one, disease, natural disaster, whatever it is, leaves you with a new awareness, insight, perspective you didn't have, right? But I had been through death of a loved one, and I'd actually been through disease. And I was like, no, betrayal feels different for me. But I didn't want to assume so that it was the same for everybody else. So I asked my study participants, and I said, if you've been through other crises besides betrayal, does it feel different for you? Unanimously, they said, oh my gosh, it's so different. Here's why. Because it feels so intentional, we take it so personally. So the whole self is shattered. Rejection, abandonment, belonging, confidence, worthiness, trust. They're all shattered and they all have to be rebuilt. So it didn't quite qualify as post-traumatic growth. It was like, yeah, you need to rebuild your life, but you also need to rebuild the self. So I coined a new term, post-betrayal transformation, PBT. That's why it's the PBT Institute. And that's the complete and total rebuild of your life and yourself after an experience with betrayal. Think about it. If you lose someone you love, right? You grieve, you mourn, you're sad, life will never be the same, but you don't question your sanity. You don't question yourself. You don't, like your ability to trust other people doesn't get compromised, right? So it's a very different experience.